path towards our glorious victory has been a journey of blood and brutality. All of it has been necessary. When the flag of our motherland flies atop the Reichstag, all of Berlin will know that the evil of the fascist Reich has been wiped from the face of the earth.
April 30th, 1945. When he first spoke of Dmitri, Reznov told tales of a hero. Someone we should all aspire to be like. At times, I have seen him show mercy, and at others act with complete brutality. I do not understand him. Perhaps heroes need not question their actions.
Steel yourselves, men, for the final push to victory. Today we crush what remains of their fascist Reich. As heroes, we will return to Russia's embrace. Our land, our people, our blood.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our Call of Duty World at War Let's Play. Today we conclude our assault with Downfall.
We'll fight to their last breath, crush the last remnants of resistance, and this night our flag will fly over the city.
We need more firepower!
We
Reloading!
not
Fire the Panzerschreck! Get the medic!
show
Ready,
pride,
stand back!
show strength, show pride, but show no mercy.
Alrighty here, we're actually going to venture over to the right hand side over here. It looks like we have quite a bit of Germans over here, so I'm going to try to rapid fire those guys down a little bit. Obviously we do have some pretty hard cover over here, so obviously we're going to take full advantage of that. Trying to wipe these guys out real quick. Looks like we do have a couple more gentlemen that actually have decided to join the fight a little bit. Now, of course, that guy's kind of hiding behind that table over there, so obviously we're going to have to be a little bit careful of him. I'm going to try to get a brand new magazine in here because it's always good to be fully prepared for combat. Now, as of the moment, as you guys can see, we do have quite a bit of infantry that are actually scattered all over the area over here. I'm hoping that we can find a fully automatic weapon here before too long, considering that while this weapon is pretty good, a fully automatic weapon is definitely going to be more of our liking. Looks like we were able to get quite a bit of these guys dropped down pretty easily. It looks like there might be a couple more guys that are actually hiding out over there. Obviously, they're kind of being a little bit cowards at the moment, so we're going to have to slowly proceed up here real quick. Looks like a couple of guys actually utilizing that second level over there. A couple more Germans are actually retreating at the moment, so of course, like a true honorable individual, we're going to shoot them in the back because, you know, those two things go hand in hand, of course. I'm actually going to move up here pretty quickly and see if we can actually wipe these guys out before they reinforce the area, considering that if they get too many reinforcements over here, that could be a little bit more challenging for us. Did take those guys out pretty easily. It looks like a couple of guys, that dude's actually coming down already spraying, so he kind of took some advice from some other individuals and saw that it was ultimately working out in their favor. Fully topped off, and it does look like they got some good frag grenades on those guys. This does look a little suspicious, but we're looking okay on that side, so I'm going to continue to proceed up.
Kommunisten! Reloading! Fire the Panzerschreck! They will fight to hold every strong point they can. Right flank! Get up on that balcony! Reloading! Fire the Panzerschreck!
Alright, so we have found a very powerful weapon, so of course we are definitely going to be utilizing this. Let's try to line up some pretty good shots here. Looks like we do need to kind of find some of these Germans that are actually stopping our Russians from moving up. Now, this angle, while it is pretty good, I think we might be able to find a little bit of a better one. So I'm actually going to move over here where some of our allies are at and see if we can't try to line up some collaterals, but ultimately kind of be able to shoot these guys more on the side. Now, of course, this isn't really hard cover by any means. Obviously, if they start shooting at us, things are probably not going to work out too well. Now, of course, with a weapon like this, we are seeing that the devastating power that it offers is just blowing these guys into basically piles of just nothing. Now, it does look like they did have a dude with a flamethrower, so of course, his time actually did not last too long. Of course, I'm going to get rid of that dude before he shoots that explosive device at us, because that would just be absolutely devastating to our moral being. But at the same time, you know, it's kind of just one of those things where I don't really want to get shot with that. So as long as we can shoot at them and they're not shooting so much at us, I feel like that's kind of a victory. You know, we take all the small victories we can get at the end of the day. Now that MG is still not being occupied, which is a good thing. We are taking a little bit of small arm fire at the moment. Obviously some submachine guns and stuff like that. But we're actually wiping these guys out pretty quickly. And so it's working out pretty well in our favor at the moment. Looks like we do have a couple of guys over there. Obviously several more guys that are actually kind of lurking about over there. Shoot that dude right in the head. I don't think he's going to be a big fan of that. Definitely won't be waking up tomorrow. And if he does, he'll have one hell of a headache. Shoot that dude pretty much in the shoulder blade there. A couple more guys. We're kind of lighting up these quick little snipes real quick and kind of just blowing them into a pile of nothing, really. Looks like a couple more reinforcements over here. We'll see truly what these guys see, but if I had to venture and say, they're probably not going to find a whole lot of success, though. Alright, so again, continuing to reinforce the area. It looks like there might be a gentleman actually over here, so let's see if we can line up a good little headshot on him, take him out with relative ease. Obviously that guy's coming to help, but it's not going to work out too well. Now we are actually moving up here. It looks like we are going to be kind of jumping in on the ground level, which is terrifying in its own way, considering that there's enemies down there. And enemies tend to shoot back at you, unlike what we were doing before, where they really weren't shooting too much at us. So we're going to have to kind of take this nice and slow, try to utilize as much of the environment as we can as cover. Looks like we do have quite a bit of friendlies that are actually hiding over here, so I'm actually going to walk over, see how they're doing. Now, as of the moment, we are trying to locate a Panzer. Looks like I did find one. I'm actually going to switch over to it right now. Looks like we need to shoot the Eagle, possibly. Another dude with a flamethrower over there. Never a good thing to see. Looks like there might be a gentleman that's actually hiding out over there. Another dude with a flamethrower, but I think we were able to kind of shoot through his blaze there and took him out with relative ease. We're looking alright. I'm not seeing a whole lot of military presence just yet, so it looks like we'll be able to move our way up to the tippy top.
Get those doors open! Get them open now!
Push! It's being held from the other side. I need help!
Go! Everyone, through the doors!
I will do my duty.
Forward!
German infantry approaching.
All right, take those guys out pretty easily. Obviously going to continue to get those new magazines in there just in case we actually need them. We are looking overall pretty good on ammo. There is a frag grenade right in front of us. It looks like our private actually ate that like an absolute champ. So props to him. You know, he found the armor that actually allows you to walk into frag grenades. If he wouldn't mind, I think I would be a big fan if he would decide to give that to me. I feel like as the one-man army, I feel like I should be having those kind of perks. Alright, so I think we actually cleaned that out pretty well over there. Obviously, a couple more guys. Looks like they're continuing to reinforce the area, but I should be able to shoot through that, but it's looking like our bullet penetration is just not as good. Everything's looking pretty okay so far.
Look how far we've come. We should throw these animals over the edge. Sergeant, our comrades from the rear echelon are flooding the building.
Let them feast on our scraps. We should push onward to victory. The blooded heart of the fascist empire will soon beat for the last time. On the balconies, up there.
Alright, so we took a little bit of damage from that frag grenade. It looks like we were able to kind of get most of our health back. I'm actually going to work over to this side and see if we can't utilize this area as a little bit of cover. See if we can slowly peek around the corner here, see what we're all seeing. Obviously, these guys are really, really big fans of throwing frag grenades. Obviously, I am not so much of a fan of that. We just as well use some of the ammunition that's left on this. There's not really a reason not to. What's the worst case scenario? We do a little bit of extra explosive damage. Alright, so now we have an MP40, so we're definitely going to try to utilize this, but in the meantime, we also have this weapon over here as well. I think we might have been able to just get that guy. I'll find out here in a moment. Looks like now we were able to get him. Again, took a little bit of explosive blast damage there, so obviously we're going to kind of rest here for a moment, kind of ultimately regenerate some of our health. I feel like we're actually going to have to kind of get out of here relatively quickly, and that's kind of concerning considering that we're kind of really exposed. Looks like that guy's hanging out over there. I'm going to kind of let him do his thing for just a moment. He's actually got a pistol now, so it's probably a good time to shoot that dude. Alright, everything's looking okay so far. Obviously, now there's a lot of Germans kind of all over the place, so I'm going to shoot these guys in the meantime. Try to utilize this pipe over here, considering that I don't think they're going to be able to shoot through that too easily. I'm actually just going to kind of do a little bit of spraying and praying there, see if we can't line up a couple of little headshots in the meantime. Had to put down some pretty good suppressive fire considering that these guys are just kind of all over the place. I mean, they're reinforcing these areas with relative ease. Obviously going to take that guy out. Looking okay on that side. Another German all the way over here kind of spraying at the ceiling at the moment. Looks like our squad mates were able to kind of help us out quite a bit, though. Alright, so we were able to find and scavenge a little bit more ammunition.
They have nowhere left to go. Move up. Clear a path for the flag. Claim our victory. Keep moving. Damn it!
You can make it, my friend. You always survive.
The honor should be yours.
As long as you live, the heart of this army can never be broken.
Things will change, my friend. As heroes, we will return to Russia's embrace.
This is solemn. General Eisenhower informs me that the forces of Germany have surrendered to the United Nations. The victory won in the West must now be won in the East.
We are gathered here, representatives of the major warring powers, to conclude a solemn agreement whereby peace may be restored. It is my earnest hope, and indeed the hope of all mankind, that from this solemn occasion a better world shall emerge out of the blood and carnage of the past. A world founded upon faith and understanding. Of man and the fulfillment of his most cherished wish for freedom, tolerance, and justice.